Hey listeners, you're listening to the Midnight Readers podcast. Grab some tea, a midnight snack, and cuddle up in bed as we dive deep into today's most popular fantasies, sci-fi, and mysteries. We're your hosts. I'm Lily.
I'm Brittany.
And I'm Christy.
This season, we're stepping into 3 standalone worlds. Right now, we're diving into a gothic historical mystery filled with secret societies, obsessive research, and enough old documents to make our resident archivist and historian feral. That's right, grab your passports and wooden stakes. We're hunting Dracula.
Some people inherit family heirlooms, some inherit generational trauma, and some inherit a centuries-old mystery involving vampires, and apparently this podcast. Welcome to a world of dusty archives, midnight research sessions, and the kind of obsession that starts with curiosity and ends with you crossing international borders, asking questions that might just get you killed.
In this episode, we'll be discussing The Historian, chapters 65 through the epilogue, where Dracula and Rossi are rooming together under the stairs. Helen and Paul are caught by Geza and his Cold War cronies, and the narrator finally tracks down her father at St. Matthew, only to find that he is not alone.
Before we get into it, this is your warning for major spoilers ahead. This includes all 3 standalone novels we'll be covering this season and any fan discussions we find online. We're also avid fans of the Moss universe and might accidentally let spoilers slip for other popular romantasy book series as well. Sorry in advance. Like the books, this podcast is rated R, so be warned.
Also, a friendly reminder to please like, subscribe, and follow. You can find us on Instagram, Threads, Facebook, and YouTube. And if you want some bonus content and behind-the-scenes chaos, join our growing community on Patreon.
All right, welcome to the final episode for The Historian.
Before we start on the book, I just want to say that despite the fact that I am still cursed, seriously, guys, my
Yeah.
I don't know if it's Dracula or the Scottish play, but my AC is out.
The Scottish play.
The internet is out. So the power went out last night when we were supposed to record. Anyway, we were watching The Weakest Link today, and a trivia question came on about the Blue Mosque in which city, and I was like, Istanbul! I know this!
Oh my god. You were like, I know this!
So yeah, I got to answer trivia questions for If We Were Villains, and now The Historian, so.
I love it.
Very nice. You learn things.
Love it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
It's beautiful.
All right, so in this episode, we start with their journey to Bochkovo, which basically yields nothing except Paul screaming Dracula at Brother Angel, which was both hilarious and appalling.
Paul lost it several times this section. Just with him is it Dracula? Is it... he's just screaming, Dracula? Is it? What is this?
What? That Brother Angel, and he's like, Dracula, fat Jepish, Dracula.
He fucking lost it so many times this section. I'm just saying.
Yeah. Well, they are directed to another church that's holding a festival from there. And finally, we end up in a location that does yield a lot more answers and a Santa surprise, which would be Rossi.
Finally.
But let's start with Bochkovo. Thoughts, impressions, annoyances with Paul?
When is there not annoyances with Paul? Just saying. Also, I do want to say real quick with the rest of the postcards that we got from Helen. She was like, I just want you to know that we're wealthy. And I was like, fuck it, of course you're wealthy. Who else can just... Yeah, I'm gonna leave and go hunt Dracula, and I don't need a job.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, I was talking with Rachel today about the ending of the book, and something that she said that I totally agree with is that there's some things that the author does that are questionable. One of them is that she doesn't really seem to speak well of the poor. A lot of things in this book are for the nobility only, or people who have money, or it's there's just some small digs here and there about people who are not as well off as Helen and Paul.
Mm-hmm.
So thank you for bringing that up, because I was going to say that too.
Yeah, she definitely, the way that anyone without money is described, the unwashed, the smell, I mean, come on now. It's
just, I don't really understand the point. Maybe, like, I was thinking about that and how she seems to treat women in the book. And granted, this was written a while ago, and you could maybe argue a couple of things. You could argue it's a product of the writer's time. You could maybe argue it's a product of the characters that she's writing. But even then, it just feels a little icky from time to time to read the inherent misogyny of it all.
It's still written in the 21st century. Like,
yeah.
It's confusing, though.
Yeah.
Because on the one hand, that is the case with all of the other characters and how they see women. But Helen's character, and really the narrator's character too, are very strong women. Like, Helen doesn't need Paul to go after Dracula. She goes after him on her own. Even, I don't know. I just don't understand.
Yes.
Maybe she's trying to point out the misogyny.
I disagree. I think that Helen and the narrator are kind of strong characters, but I think that it's at the expense of their femininity. Like, there are points being made that they are kind of masculine in a way. Like, all of the times that were pointed out how Helen looked and how she's not, like, classically beautiful, or that she's kind of mannish, or she has, like, a masculine, like, you know, vibe to her. I don't know.
There was,
especially Helen.
There was one point that I put in there where he wakes up and he goes to her room and he's like, "Oh, I'm her fiance now. I have rights to her body."
Yeah.
I was like, she's still asleep. You think it's okay to kiss her? I mean,
good point. Good point.
Yeah.
I did think it was funny, though, that he woke up and he was like, "I'm engaged to Helen." Like, he was like,
Well, now, just to throw out another theory, potentially, because a lot of this comes from Paul being a complete and epic dumbass. Perhaps the author is showcasing him as a dumbass to show us how the misogyny really works. Maybe that's the point.
Well, like I said, I think there's an argument to be made that she's writing the time period. So, like, if that's the case, Paul would have been a misogynist. So,
yeah.
You know, I don't necessarily want to just immediately say Elizabeth Kostova is a misogynist. But yeah, sometimes when I'm reading it, I'm like, damn, girl.
Yeah.
This is a little concerning, you know? Yeah.
All right.
Also, I just got to say, he finds her, you know, she obviously has been bitten a second time and her breast is exposed. And I'm like,
yeah,
dude.
Yeah.
Dracula is your relative, so ew. And
grandfather.
And 2, Paul, quit looking, you pervert. He's just like, her round titty is right there.
Oh my God.
It's probably the first time he's seen one. So he's probably excited.
He was just so excited, dude. He was just like, I'm engaged to Helen. Oh my God.
Don't they sleep together before this? He's seen her titties before.
Yeah.
Oh. I forgot about that.
Christy.
That's right. That was like a wildly uncomfortable scene.
Anyways.
But okay, because Dracula's her grandfather, right? Something like that?
Great-grandfather?
Well, great hundreds of years. So they're technically, at this point, they're not really related.
But still.
I don't think they're not related enough to leave her in that state of undress, though. It's so gross.
I guarantee well, I mean, fair enough, but I guarantee in the hundreds of years that separate them, they don't share any DNA.
Still.
I mean, they make a point in this book to mention how much she looks like him.
That's true.
Just saying.
Somewhere down the line, she came from his loins.
I'm not saying that it's okay. I'm just saying that they don't share any DNA. Realistically, if they were real people, you would not be able to say, oh, they're still related. Because that's just like, barely true.
Barely.
People were marrying their like third cousins back in the day.
Oh yeah, no, it was like brother and sister back then.
I know. They were marrying some gross matches, but
Yeah.
it still gives me the ick.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
All right. So they leave Butchkovo. Or did we have anything else we wanted to talk about that visit?
No.
I do wonder if, because she thinks that it's Dracula who actually bit her. Why? Because later on he tells Rossi, he's like, meh, I'll send my minions out to do shit because I got other more important things to do. And it's the librarian from America that has been fighting her or has been stalking them. So why would Dracula make a special effort for her?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm with you on that.
Yeah, because what we talked about before that I think I was a little disappointed with, because we had talked about before having it where she didn't have to be bitten because it was Dracula's blood running through her. So she was already maybe somewhat vampire. But I don't think they ever really answered that. I don't think that was ever really the case. Maybe Librarian was just jealous.
And I don't know, the librarian, did we ever figure out what happened to him? Did he die? He died, right?
No, he runs off at the end. No, he runs off. That's actually what I was going to end up bringing up is there's 1,000 different things that don't get tied up. There's like so many things in this book that we don't get any answers for. And the librarian is one of them.
Yeah, I agree. I was like a little disappointed there. But anyway, moving on.
Yeah.
To the monastery.
Yes. Well, because this is also where he starts screaming at Brother Angel because he's not. But that's the thing too. They're getting Reinolf to translate.
Yeah.
Is he even translating the right shit or not? I guess apparently he was, but they recommend at that point that they go to another monastery. So
right.
I guess we can go back to the letters. I don't know. That's the only thing is the way that they write it. It interrupts with letters from Helen to the narrator.
Yeah.
And we get them from the dates 1962 and 63.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things I noticed on here, because it was a question I asked you, because it sounds like Helen was upset that Paul hasn't tried to find her. And she specifically says...
I don't think so.
Well, she says that he hasn't looked because if he had looked, he would have found her.
I can see where you would think that, but at this... And as a person who is in love with somebody else, I can see her feeling like he should know that I'm alive and come look for me. But at the same time, I think logically she knows. He thinks that she's dead.
She says, I know your father believes I am dead because he has not tried to find me. So she's under the impression that he must believe I'm dead. Otherwise he would have. Like, that's what she thinks.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think I kind of read it that same way because that was one thing I wondered about is why he hadn't gone to look for her. And we end up finding out in the end why, because he promised her what he would do. But at that point, I was like, he's kind of an ass for not doing it.
Yeah.
Okay. So we move on. We go to the new monastery. And I guess it's just more of a church. And they're having a festival with
fire dancing.
Fire walking. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Which apparently pisses Randolph off. And they talk about how they're getting rid of those stupid customs. And it was just pissing me off the way that they talk about other cultures.
Yeah. I think the monastery might have... Wait, never mind. I was going to say... Never mind.
What?
I was going to say the monastery might have been used for something prior, but that doesn't make any sense. Like, I was going to... For like a different religion, but that doesn't logically make sense. So never mind about that.
Well, now this is the monastery that is, because it's on top of Sveti Georgi.
Yeah, that's why I said it doesn't make sense for me to say that it would have been a different religion because it was always a Christian monastery. It was built for that.
Yeah.
But the firewalking is cool because it's very cultural and they were using it to, like, they mixed it in with the Christianity, which I think is really cool. And that's how a lot of cultures ended up bringing Christianity in their lives, right? And of course, Renoff is like, no, we got to stamp this out. And I was like, people like you can die.
For real.
Yep. Although Paul's description of the people there was a little
they're all
frustrating.
old and ugly and raisinets and
gnarled.
He had an obsession with how many teeth they had. And I was like,
well, calling the men gnarled beyond belief, the women grotesquely bow-legged.
Let these people live their lives.
How is that the first fucking thing? Yeah. How is that the first? And they're so kind to him with Baba Yaga.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Is that how the book said? Okay, yeah. I know Baba Yaga is what I was thinking every time.
Like every time the narrator said Baba Yaga, I was like, you mean Baba Yaga? What? And then it went from Baba Yaga to, oh yeah, then there's also Baba Yellow Legs. And then I was like, now I'm on Throne of Glass.
But she's so incredibly kind to him and nice, and blatantly they don't have a lot, but yet she's going to offer him, drink and food, and he's such an asshole about it, judging her the whole fucking time.
He calls her food a gruel, which, like, maybe it is, but oh my God, just eat it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, then in one part of it, he thinks to himself, or he wonders if Renoff has said something disrespectful to her. And I was like, are you fucking kidding me?
Of course he has.
Of all people.
Yeah. Like, duh.
And then pointing out the fact that she's younger than she looks, and him whispering to Helen in this tiny little place where blatantly she would be able to hear. I was like, who the fuck are your parents, buddy? Like, who raised you to be this much of a dumbass?
I agree. He wasn't.
I mean, he is a man.
Also, she performs for them, and I don't know why, but this really pissed me off when he was like, will she sing it if I give her a reward?
Oh, yeah.
And I was like,
oh, yeah.
Why does that make me so mad?
Is she a puppy? Like,
yeah.
Sit and I'll give you a treat.
You could pay her for her time. Now, that would be one thing, but like, something about the word reward feels
like a puppy.
Pedantic.
Degrading.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
In the little festival, when they're doing like a procession, kind of, where she might have actually been dancing in this moment, but she's holding a icon of the Virgin Mary while she does this ritual. And I just thought that was interesting because when I was in grad school, there was a brief time where I did a lot of research on the Virgin Mary and the worship of Virgin Mary as opposed to Jesus or God. And there's in the Middle Ages, there's like this surgence of a worship of just the Virgin Mary. There's like a lot of people come out and kind of like make her this godly figure. And I thought it was interesting that it was mentioned here because that is big in Eastern Europe and parts of Europe in the Middle Ages. So I just thought it was interesting that it was noted here.
Random, but sort of connected because of virgins, but our narrator is a Virgo. I just thought I'd point that out. Why are our narrators always Virgos?
I don't remember her saying that, but that's great.
It said that so she could not be a Virgo. It said she was born in September. And most, like, there's a 50-50 shot that she's a Virgo. I'm just saying.
Right.
Well, let's say she's not. I don't want to know crazy.
Let's say she's not.
If she, I wish it would say like early or late, but it is what it is.
Okay.
I thought you would enjoy that, Christy. After Bella.
No. Every time. Why? Why are we so misrepresented? No. Come on.
One of the things that Baba Yaga, what was said whenever they were in that thing too, was that folk songs are notoriously slippery. And I just was like,
I liked that.
Why would you phrase it that way?
Oh my God. Here, I am thinking, she's right. That's true. And Brittany's thinking, oh my God.
It is very like poetically stated, but also I'm thinking other things.
That's really sad. I did not think that.
Brittany's thinking of what we're going to be reading next.
Oh, yeah. I'm so excited. So excited.
Yeah.
One thing I did kind of want to point out a little bit that to me did not make sense is the fact that if there's the icon of Sveti Georgi, it's been in the church for hundreds of years, and yet they don't seem to know like that monastery. But if that was the actual place of the monastery, how would they know it was there? That doesn't.
Sveti, I'm guessing Hungarian word for saint? Because
well, aren't they in Bulgaria, or did they leave Bulgaria?
Bulgarian.
They're in.
I think.
Yeah, so I think it's Bulgarian, or possibly whatever language that is, Bulgarian or maybe Russian, for saint.
So
it means saint.
They could be talking about Saint George, the person, and not know that a monastery was named after him.
Yeah.
But it was rebuilt, and they forgot Sveti Georgi, the monastery, but they remember the saint. Like, that makes no sense. How can you forget a monastery that was literally built there for him?
Some people forget things on purpose. And what if Dracula made them forget?
Sure.
With his illusion powers.
Well, so this is also where...
Okay, I just wanted to look it up. It is a Slavic language, which could be many languages. So I just want to make that clear, even though I said Bulgarian.
Okay.
Go on. I just didn't want to say something that was completely wrong.
But this is actually where they found Rossi. This is the little Santa surprise. So they pretend that they're going to go to the bathroom, the outhouse together.
Which is
at all suspicious.
Wild. Like, I'm sorry. But at some point, somebody's going to, like, are they having diarrhea? Is that why they're taking so long? If somebody took that long in the bathroom, I would have, like, turned and went, yeah, they snuck out. Like,
right. Because you're going to be gone longer than that.
Yeah.
And then while they were at the church, Paul's like, yeah, we got like 10 minutes. We still got 10 minutes. And I was like, you've already been gone so long. How the fuck?
Right. And wouldn't they notice they're not out back? That made no sense.
But people do it all the time in movies and in books. They go, yeah, I just need to go to the bathroom. And they use that to sneak around. And I don't understand. It does not make sense unless you're just having a whole shit ton of diarrhea all the time.
Maybe they are. And people aren't questioning it.
People aren't questioning
I'm just saying
it.
He did eat the gruel.
Oh.
But they go back to Sveti Georgi. Well, what was Sveti Georgi? They go down and find Rossi.
Which I was wondering how he didn't suffocate. I'm just saying.
He's dead.
But he's not.
Yeah. He's halfway dead.
But he's not.
But my impression was that he did already kill him because they had to stake him through the heart.
He
already bit him the third time, I thought.
He might have. I don't know. But they did say that his heart was beating still. They said it was sluggish and making a weird sound.
Well, then why did they kill him?
Because I think...
Why did they kill him? Helen has also been bitten twice. There was no reason to kill him.
I thought he had been bitten 3 times.
He
was
too.
bitten a third time, and he was in the process of changing.
Same.
He may have.
I think that's what it was.
But I just was like, because he keeps being put back in the coffin. So I was like, why hasn't he...
He's like, God damn it.
Suffocated yet? Why hasn't he suffocated yet? I'm just saying. Those things...
Because he don't need to breathe air. He's been feeding on people. He said he's been thirsty. Like, he's been doing shit that he doesn't remember because he's under the thrall. So I think he's already either in the middle of turning or he's turned.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think he was weird. Like turning. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
But they bring, like, I don't know, wake him up. They open it, wake him up, and then he tells them about a book that he has hidden some really fucking long notes in, and talking about his time with Dracula, and they need to go find it. So they break in underneath the stairs and find, I think this is where they find it because she gets her heel stuck in it. Paul is trying to help her come out.
She gets her heel stuck in it when they were touring, and then they snuck back later.
Oh, that's right, to see the dragon, because he leaves her ass stuck for a minute. To look. He's like, God. Never mind. Fuck you.
I don't even remember that.
Yeah, she gets her heel stuck. Christ. And as he's helping her out, he notices the dragon and then totally abandons her. Stuck in the stairs.
These people.
Yeah.
I thought it was interesting that the imagery of the church is a saint slaying a dragon, which, like, nobody slayed the dragon, guys. Maybe it's a cover-up.
Well, unless they considered when they killed him and beheaded him, slaying the dragon.
Good point. Good point. Fair point. Yeah, when they are, like, talking to Rossi and he remembers everything, I was very confused about that.
Yeah, I would have appreciated a scene in his letters of him remembering, but like in him, even though it wouldn't add to the plot, like that would have been a nice, like, anguishing, emotional scene for him to remember the woman that he lost, and oh my God, she called and said that I had a daughter, and
oh, it was so sad.
But anyway, I thought it was gross that he was wearing the same clothes that he wore when he was kidnapped however many months ago.
That's what you thought was gross?
But remind me, did Paul remark on his unwashed appearance and smell?
Yes. Oh, not the smell.
Did he?
Not
or
the
did
smell.
He talk about his love of Rossi?
He talked about his love of Rossi.
Both.
But he did mention the fact that he was wearing the same clothes and that they were unwashed. And I was like, ew, is there no smell? He never mentioned any smell. And then, the narrator, Lily, did you listen to the audiobook this time around or ebook?
Yeah, I did.
So when they open it up and he's like, Ross, it's Paul. I'm here. I was like, whoa.
Oh my God. I didn't even think about that, but okay. I didn't think it was like that.
And Rossi responds, oh, Paul, you came for me.
I remember that. I do remember that.
Oh my God. I'm surprised Helen didn't leave.
What the fuck?
I was dying.
You know what killed me, though? What killed me was that he knew that Dracula was going to come for him. Like, he knew that like, he shouldn't keep researching. But he basically baited Paul into coming to find him because he gave him his notes. Yeah. And he told him about the book, and he was like, I mean, granted, in the beginning, he says my successor, but I can't believe that he actually made Paul do this. Like, think about this. You know that Dracula's real, so you rope other people into it. I think that's crazy.
Yeah. Well, I mean, for this whole, like, the narrator whispered these things to each other, and I was like, why does this feel like the most romantic part of the whole book? And then he calls Paul beloved later, and I was like, yeah, Rossi definitely has a thing. He was like, they were to, like,
yeah.
Y'all are killing me.
But he was like, he was like, my beloved Paul will come find me. He'll save me and rescue me. Yes. I am a damsel in distress.
My faithful, dutiful Paul.
Oh my God.
My student.
And see, that's why
forbidden romance.
That's why
it's illegal, motherfucker.
That's why I don't think that Dracula had that much interest in Paul, because he was like, he
didn't have any interest in Paul. Paul couldn't fucking understand him.
But see, that's why I think that happened, because he was like, your journey was for Rossi, not for me. Mm-hmm. Like, you didn't care two shits about me. You just wanted to find your beloved Rossi. So,
right. Yeah, pretty much. But then we find out, too, that Rossi, because he stopped his research but he restarted it when he found out that someone else that he assumed was a man was writing on Dracula. So at that point, he decided he wanted to go ahead and finish up his research and publish it, not knowing that the person that was doing that was actually his own daughter.
Which is exactly what she wanted, by the way. She wanted him to freak out and panic. And then she wanted to just get the jump on him, which I think is hilarious and sad.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, you got exactly what you wanted, but he's going to die because of it.
She didn't realize it was going to get him killed.
Yeah, no, she had no idea. I feel like Helen's story is the most tragic in the story. She's really...
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Even though she's not the protagonist, she should have been.
Yeah.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. Although, damn, I feel bad for the narrator, though.
I do too, but I feel like, I don't know, I feel like Helen has worked her ass off to get where she is, and she gets so little for it, you know?
Yeah.
I hate that.
So, I will say this. I was a little offended by Rossi. Because he gets offered this job to be Dracula's historian. All he's got to do is catalog some books. And he's just like, nah, wait. Fuck you, I'm out. And like he gets to stay underground away from people, have all the food that he wants, and live with books. And then he goes and calls it Dracula's Diabolical Library.
Did you see?
What the fuck did those books do to you?
Did you see my note?
No.
Did you read my notes?
No. Let me look at it.
I'm highlighting a specific note. I'm highlighting a very specific note.
Where?
Do you want me to make it? Do you want me to highlight it in yellow?
Why don't you go ahead and read it?
Which
Chapter 73.
73.
I've highlighted it for you. I want you to read it.
It's not highlighted. Where? Okay, there it goes.
Yes, it is, bitch.
This is Brittany's dream with fiction. I mean, okay, no, seriously. In the notes, if you read my notes, I wrote, he said that he would send Rossi out to find more fiction. I was like, that library would have the greatest fantasy, romantasy. Like,
he doesn't want that.
I don't care. I would add Morning Glory Milking Farm to his collection.
And this is why he chose Rossi.
Dracula would be like, what the fuck is this shit?
It would be the greatest fantasy romantasy fan fiction because he's got a printing press. We can print all that shit.
Well, you would come home one day to find him reading Morning Glory Milking Farm.
But this was what I said. I said, this is Brittany's dream, but with fiction. I was like, girl, did you read my notes? Which, can we just take a step back? He just wanted a librarian. He just wanted an archivist.
For real. All that work. All that wasted paper that could have been, used better.
Are you fucking kidding me? You printed thousands. Just think about this for a second. You've been living for 500, almost 600 years. You amassed this large library of amazing books. You say to yourself, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to print a very vague, suspicious book, but I'm going to make thousands of them. And I'm just going to drop them at the hands of people so that they will want to figure out what it means so that they can find me. But in order to test the brilliance of these people, who are only men, by the way, because I am a misogynist, because I am nearly 600 years old, in order to test their valor, I am going to kill the people around them and harm their loved ones. And then, if they still want to find me, then I'm going to say, that's the one. And then I'm going to ask them to catalog everything in my library. That's what Dracula did. That's what Vlad the Impaler, who has lived almost 600 years. What?
If he just started at the very beginning when he got the first few books, then he could have done it himself.
That's what I said. I was like, oh my God, he could have just, any book talker would super focus on like displaying
Guys,
his books
okay.
perfectly if he was really into books and having the perfect catalog and the like, you know how you're going to put your books together.
People would do this for free.
Okay, but now I'm picturing Dracula on BookTok or on TikTok.
The crazy thing is, he could have literally just hired a really good archivist, but no. He said, I'm going to gamify it, and I'm going to make sure that people die for this sake.
It's a very Vlad thing to do.
It's just like, what?
He's bored. He doesn't have anything else to do. It's fun.
He could totally be manipulating world governments. He could do it.
It's funny.
But no,
and great.
He is spending his afterlife looking for an archivist.
Exactly.
Or a historian.
Exactly.
Or a librarian.
And the crazy thing is, he asks him, he says, do you want to be my archivist? And Rossi says, no. Bitch, just make him your archivist. You have the power.
Well, I think that's the point, though. He wanted somebody to choose.
Yeah, except for the fact that you kidnapped him and
He's
you're
evil.
saying you can do this or you can do that. Now choose. That ain't much of a choice.
The part that I loved about it is that he looks at Rossi and he's like, now, as a historian, that you can't perfect being good. The only thing you can perfect is being evil. You can become really good at being evil. But what does he do? He doesn't perfect his evilness. He doesn't say, you have to be an archivist for me. He asks him, do you want to be an archivist? What are you doing? What are you doing? Just put him in a thrall and make him an archivist.
Yeah.
You don't have to ask him, you're evil.
Or create an HR department to do this a little bit better.
That's what I'm saying. And now that would be the ultimate evil.
HR people would have easily signed on to Dracula.
Yes.
I am sure that there is a million book talkers out there that are like, I can arrange your bookshelves. Just... I can do it.
People would do this for free.
Dracula's probably on BookTok now.
It was such a crazy ending or a crazy like tie-up for all of the work and research that went into finding him, because like what happened to Kirill? What happened to Iviranu? Like what happened to all of these people that were a part of making like the heart of the book is fascinating. The finding him, the what's up with the book, like the mystery of the book is really interesting, but I feel like it's an underwhelming payoff.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
I agree.
It's an underwhelming ending for like a really interesting setup.
Not to mention, like, okay, so now that somebody has found his crypt, tomb, whatever you want to call it.
One of them.
And all the books lead there. What's he gonna do? Like,
I didn't even think about that. Like, my thing is, what's he gonna do with the like 1,300 other books? And now that, let's say, if Rossi took the job, what are you gonna just be fending off archivists for the rest of your life? Now that you have the one that you want, I don't know.
It also
I guess he's gonna hire people under Rossi, but
right, that was the point.
Because he did say
it just is funny.
He did say he had minions out there. I'm just saying.
Well, yeah, they can do the movie.
I guess they weren't good enough to be lead archivist.
The movie.
Come on, look at the fucking librarian. Do you think that jackass could have done a good job? No. He is not senior level.
No.
He is like low level. No. But I also would like to point out the fact that I truly feel like that Dracula and Brittany are simpatico. And I could easily see Brittany becoming undead to ensure that she could continue to read all of the books in the world.
Well, I mean, yes, but
I will say, for all of the shit that I'm giving the author in this moment, I will say that I think Dracula was written really interestingly, and that I wish we had gotten him chapters ago. Like a third to a half of the book way through.
Yeah.
Because like a halfway through or like 3/4 in, because his take on like the way that she writes him and the thoughts that he has and like his motivations, I actually think they're really interesting, and I would have loved to have seen more of him. Like he said that quote about being evil. I found that interesting. Like I felt she could have done more with him.
Yeah, I agree. Although,
and we barely get to see him.
And I know, again, I just, can you imagine Vlad Tepes, who fought valiantly to control his throne, just sitting back and watching the world and mainly being concerned about his books and cataloging them? I just don't see that.
It's interesting
for him.
I feel like he could have been so much more evil. Like, he's such an interesting character.
But I like that she humanized him in that way, that she completely changed, because you hear about him in a certain way. And so you kind of expect for his character to be this like larger than life, crazy, psychotic guy. And he was almost likable.
What was the point of becoming a vampire? Like, just to collect books? That was his goal in life.
No, I think that was more so, it sounded to me like, well, number one, maybe that had some, but more of it to do with it, I think, was his thought that he was not going to go to heaven, and he knew that was the case. So instead, he wanted to find a way to get around that.
I just think it seems like not enough.
Yeah.
But I do agree that his character is interesting. Like, he has interesting motives, and I wanted to know more. And frankly, I just wish we got more of it. We had so much exposition that didn't...
Rossi.
Need to happen?
That didn't add to the book.
Rossi fucking, too, on his letter. Holy shit, that was a long letter to write.
Yeah.
In the space he had, but I fucking lost it on when he's like, day 4. I don't even know what day it is anymore. I'm like, it's been 4 fucking days. Are you kidding me?
Oh, man.
He said he didn't know how long he slept, which is why. But yeah, obviously.
I also thought it was interesting how in Rossi's letter, he kind of described after day 3 or day 4, I don't remember. He was already starting to change, right? And he said that he was reading a book, like while he was doing part of his work, and it describes someone's beheading. And he said all of a sudden he really wanted to see it. Like, he had this like bloodthirst that he'd never experienced before while reading the book, which I thought was genius. I thought that was such an interesting way both to like show that becoming a vampire corrupts a part of you that you can't even understand, really. Like, it makes you want to be evil because you have that desire for the blood. And also, it puts Dracula into a new perspective because all he wants is history books. So maybe Dracula is reading history books like we're reading smut, like like trying to live through the books, like, you know, being affected by the book in a really weird way. I thought it was really interesting.
Yeah, I think too for him, because Dracula seems so frustrated at the fact that the real history wasn't what ended up coming out, that it was this kind of made up version of history instead. And I think to him, it was, and I could definitely see it being that way for the actual person, so frustrating that you would just spend all of your time calculating how you were going to just create this whole other narrative.
Sure. I did find it interesting that he called the H-bomb divine fire.
He would
the bomb
see it
on
like that.
Hiroshima and Nagasaki.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, I hate that.
Yeah.
I hate that. But yeah, no, I thought Rossi's recount of his time there was really interesting. And it is such a shame that we see so little of him. Like, when Paul and Helen find the tomb after talking to Rossi, he's like, you have to go find him. You have to go now before he's awake. Like, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
They get in there and he's gone.
Yeah.
And it's really the last time we get an interesting scene with him.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then with Renov, he was so happy that the other historian was being left behind. I can't pronounce his name. Stoichev. And
oh, yeah.
then he, like, I am assuming that he was happy about that so that somebody else could interrogate him, because he shows up with these people bloodied and beaten up.
His friends, Geza, and who does he bring? He brings the librarian.
He
brings the monk.
Yeah.
The monk that was kind of suspicious.
Yeah.
But I thought, was the monk there against his will too? Because
kind of.
Yeah.
I think so, yeah. I think it was actually not the one that was listening to them. It was Ivan.
Yes,
Ivan?
brother Ivan, yeah.
Yeah.
So I was like, again, why do these people want to know where Dracula is?
Yeah, but that's my criticism of this part of the book, is like,
it became nothing. Like,
it becomes nothing, yeah. And I think it's unrealistic that we would have this, like, Cold War underpinning of the book, and they wouldn't even get taken in for questioning. They weren't, like, arrested. Nothing happens to Paul and Helen after Renov and friends come in.
Yeah.
Nothing happens to them.
Yeah.
Which, like, even if the case was that they found nothing, I think they would still be put through, some bullshit just to eventually get home.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There were several things in this that didn't make sense. The minion showing them the way and them not.
Yeah.
How could you not fucking tell that there was something wrong with him and that you didn't know this person whatsoever? I know he was like telling him he was going to go, but Helen says in some part that he was wanting to find his master. But if he led them to the tomb, then the minion already knew where his master was. So
he had at least some pretty strong senses. Yeah.
Yeah. All of that didn't make sense. It also didn't make sense with Stoichev. Like, you were so happy to leave him behind before.
Right.
And then he shows up. But also, for what purpose? He really didn't serve a purpose there at all. Just to look around and go, nope, it's not here.
Yeah. Although Stoichev he's the one that closes the tomb, right?
And hides Rossi.
Yeah. Which is crazy.
So Stoichev and brother Ivan both put Rossi back.
Yeah.
So he does actually get a burial.
Which is nice and also really interesting, because I was wondering when they came in, like, I thought that they thought Rossi was Dracula for a split second. I was like, wait, what just happened? But I had misunderstood completely. But I do love that Renov gets attacked right before, that this scene is over.
Yeah. And they're just...
He bit me.
They're just like, yeah, you can go back to your secret police with vampire taint. That's fine. Everything is fine.
Taint. I'm sorry. Vampire taint. Yeah.
Several meanings of that.
Yes. But yeah, I just think it's really convenient. And then the saddest part is we have this period of time where Helen and Paul are, like, happily married. And then she still dies after they fucking find her.
The thing is, everything that happens after finding Rossi and them going home feels like an epilogue. It feels like it's the end of the book.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
This whole, like, rundown of their life, and it is really interesting that she did include, like, Helen having miscarriages and postpartum depression and all that stuff, but it feels like the end of the book. And then there's, like, one last scene in which they all meet up and kill Dracula.
I also hate that Helen's reason for leaving is this weird, like,
I can't be a good mother.
Self-martyrdom. Yeah, like, I didn't understand that for Helen. Like, Helen as a character is someone who's so confident and, like, I don't know, it didn't make sense to me that she would willingly leave her child and Paul because she thinks that her blood is tainted or anything like that, whether it be bloodline or the vampire issue, that didn't make a lot of sense to me for her.
Yeah.
In general.
Me
Especially
neither.
because her child would have that same blood running through her veins as well.
Seriously.
Right.
So, yeah.
It just didn't make sense.
I mean, I could see if she was worried about like Dracula coming after them or something.
Right.
But I felt like there were things that didn't need to be in the book and then things that didn't get wrapped up because we were concentrating on other things that didn't need to be in the book.
Yeah.
Yes. Do you guys remember the weird cult in the forest? Nothing ever happens with that.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah, nothing ever happened with that. And I will say I was glad because I've been waiting for them to unveil what Buckwheat was remembering about James in the train.
yeah.
And I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
So he remembered something, but what was it? Well, you never tell us what it was. You just said, oh, I remembered. And I went and I had a phone call with him. I guess, no, they did talk about the letter or something. But
he
remembers the name Bora. He remembers that
But it was so random, though.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, and I'll be honest. I was very disappointed in myself. Very. Because I did not put together who Master James was until he fucking said his fiance's name when he dies.
I don't even remember what he said. Who is it?
Hugo James. The guy who...
Oh, him!
Yeah.
Wow.
The guy they met at the conference.
Put it together either.
And it wasn't until he said his wife's name is because we talked about it so much about him being an asshole for leaving.
Wow.
He died for her, Christy. He died for her.
Yeah.
So apologies.
In my mind, his name was Hugh, not James.
Hugh, yeah. Yeah, no. I only thought of him as Hugh too. And I was just like, and then when he said the wife's name, I was like, oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
I literally did not put that together. I don't know what's wrong with
I didn't
me.
either. I didn't either. And this is my fucking book.
Well, then I feel better. So. Woohoo!
Yeah, honestly, the anticlimactic possible death of Dracula. When Master James comes down, I was like, who is this man? I was just like, how is he connected? Because I knew that he was connected to Barley, but I didn't understand why he was important enough to be in the end. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I was like, they must have told me something that I'm forgetting, and that was clearly it. Like, I just didn't even put it together.
Well, I mean, even from the beginning, when they talked about Master James, I think before we even met Hugh, and
yeah.
I like nothing.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, and I guess at least that's why it was introduced. But to me, again, it was that whole storyline that there didn't.
To be fair,
it wasn't filled out in a way I think that was helpful.
Remember when he ran after the librarian with an umbrella? This feels like the same thing.
True.
He just ran down the stairs and then died.
You know what, Hugh? We gave you a fucking hard time for nothing. You were a real one this whole time. You were a real one.
Oh my god.
Man, I do like that Helen is the final shot.
Yeah.
Although
she always has a weapon on her.
She really does. She's always prepared.
The thing is that with Dracula's death, they were like, oh, the taint is all gone. All the vampires are, whatever. Really? I mean, the librarian is still out there. Who was that guy on the train? Was it Dracula? Because he said he had so many better things to do.
Right.
And, how many
do you
minions
think Dracula's dead?
I think he is. Because he dissolved.
I'm not sure.
He dissolved. Even his clothes dissolved. I wonder who is sending the books, and I think maybe Helen, but who knows?
That would be so good.
Helen. Oh my goodness.
But no, she dies though.
But and Paul, it's kind of implied that Paul stakes her through the heart.
It's implied,
after she
but
dies.
not explicitly said. What if?
True.
She died of a wasting disease,
Which is tragic, and I'm mad about it.
Yeah.
9 years after.
Yeah, I was really pissed about that. But in several vampire fiction before, they have described becoming a vampire as like a wasting disease. And so that's what, for me, true. I was like, okay, so the taint got her. And
the taint.
What if
the killer taint?
What if Paul
phrasing?
What if
that's a whole other book? I have a feeling we're about to read it.
Now that's a killer taint.
What if Paul went to go kill her, and when he found that she was gone, he was just like, fuck. And then the unnamed narrator, Liz, never knew that it didn't get resolved.
That would be horrible, though, if Paul didn't tell her that. Like,
I don't know.
Hey, you might want to watch out for your mom.
How many horrible things did Paul do? How many horrible things did Paul do?
And he didn't tell her that her mother was alive when he found out. So, I think there's a potential he could do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is the canon in my head.
I could see it. All right.
This is the canon.
I like that. I like that outcome. That would be really good.
And now she's distributing Dracula's books to females.
So does that mean I'm going to go on?
Yes. No.
Does that mean I'm going to get my book?
I don't think you would, because you would figure it out too fast.
Thank you. I think.
But also, why, the books are useless because the tomb is empty.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe for his fortune.
I figured Helen stole that. Like the book.
I did want to point out, because I saw somewhere that the author had said, because somebody asked her about the name and why she never named the narrator.
Oh, yeah.
And she said something to the effect of that she wanted it to read like it's in your head, and you don't name yourself in your own thoughts. And so she wanted the narrator to kind of become
interesting.
Most people don't name themselves in their own thoughts.
I could see that.
But that was why she chose not to do it.
That makes sense to me.
Yeah.
That makes sense to me. Yeah, that's interesting. It kind of reminds me of, I might be misremembering this, but there's that book from when I was a kid called Numbering the Stars. I think it's by Lois Lowry.
It is, and I love it. It's a defining moment in my childhood.
Same. I love that book.
So how did you feel about cornflakes?
I will say, before we move to cornflakes, I want to say this, because that, according to, if the author did that, that's one thing, but it doesn't make sense that, you don't name yourself generally if you're not a crazy person in your head most of the time. I fully admit I'm crazy, but but other people addressed her, and never by name. They called her daughter or whatever. And somebody at some point would have said that girl's name. Now moving on.
Well, okay. Number one, maybe the dad just couldn't fucking remember. Number two, cornflakes never actually got to the point of the crazy sex. So I don't know if he would have called out her name at this point. So,
And that, I was thinking more of Paul's Italian friends, who I can't remember their name. Massimo?
Mm-hmm.
They
didn't even call Paul the right name.
Yeah, but they didn't even, they called her daughter as well. And I just...
Okay, Paul can't remember her name. So he doesn't know how to introduce her to them. So he just says, daughter, friends, daughter. There you go.
Anyway, moving on to cornflakes.
What's the question about cornflake?
So, he goes down with the narrator to go up against Dracula, stands by her side.
Yeah, I gotta hand it to him.
What did we think of him in the end?
I liked Cornflake at the beginning. I made fun of his name, but I think he's decent. I think maybe he can stay.
Okay. Brittany?
I don't know. I'm kind of ambivalent about him. Like, I don't like the fact that he called her a kid while trying to fuck her.
I think it was more like him realizing she's a kid as he's making this mistake. That was the vibe I got.
And the way he talked to her at certain points on the train ride really irritated me.
Again, with the misogyny.
And I'm wondering, what is his relationship with Professor Master James, whatever his name is, that he literally watched this man die and then wept over him? Like,
it's like Paul and Rossi.
Mm-hmm.
That's his advisor.
Yeah.
That's all I'm going to say.
I did not have the same relationship with my advisor. I'm just going to say that.
Same.
No.
Same. I think it's cute that he's dorky. He's dorky.
Other than those like little kind of red flags for me, he's barley. He's cornflakes. He's kind of
Yes.
bleh.
Fair enough.
Okay. Well, what did you think about the fact that Paul could not understand Dracula, but the narrator could?
I was like, so Rossi understands him. So is this like something that Dracula did on purpose? And I believe Helen understands him as well, right?
I don't think that's revealed.
No.
Because he talks to her when she's about to go off the cliff, right?
No, he doesn't.
No?
She thinks that he's there. She assumes, she sees him, she thinks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Anyway, but I was is the secret language like an illusion thing, or
I feel like it's a choice Dracula makes. If he wants you to understand him, he can. And he found Paul severely lacking in every aspect of,
but
I agree.
at the same time,
what he wanted.
At the same time, doesn't he address Paul and say, if you don't come with me, I will take your daughter?
He does address him.
He does.
So why wouldn't Dracula make it where he could understand if he was the one controlling it?
Yeah, I don't know. It does make me wonder if it has something to do with ambition, or I just don't know. Maybe it's no, never mind. I was going to say it's the bloodline, but Rossi understands him.
The thing,
but maybe he says that to her as like a creepy thing. Like, I'm going to take your daughter. Or he could have actually said it to Paul and then quickly realized, oh my God, this guy is so fucking dumb. He doesn't even understand me. Like, pivot to the narrator.
Yeah, I don't know.
Also, he's, again, as Lily, you pointed out earlier, 500-600 years old. He couldn't fucking learn another language.
I'm just saying, he could have read 1,000 things.
Like,
and maybe he did speak other languages, but he was just like, no, you have to speak mine.
ugh.
Which I could see him doing that.
But it made no sense. And it brings up the point that, like, again, we're at the end of this book and they still have not explained the magic system.
I was waiting for you to bring it up. Yeah, we got no answers on it. Like, at all.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, on one hand, that doesn't bother me as much. But on the other hand, there are some things I would have liked answered,
What are the rules here? Like, what's he capable of? And again, if Dracula dies, does that mean all the vampire minions die? Or are they still out there in the world?
No.
They are, because Helen stayed.
Yeah, but she wasn't
all we know
fully a vampire thing. I don't know. It just
instead of answers, I know that they drink peach liqueur in Turkey, and I know that Kirill is a common monastery monk name in Eastern Europe, and I have all of these answers about shit I don't need to know. In fact, now I know who Iviranu is. He is a scribe. He is a monk, which I think would have been a better answer than Dracula doing his own books if he had, like, employed Iviranu, which we don't even get that answer. Isn't that crazy?
It meant nothing.
What?
It ended up meaning nothing.
But on one hand, I really like that it's like a realistic interpretation of how historical research is done, right? Like, you get sent down all these paths and not all of them are reasonable
or work out.
Lifelines. Not all of them work out, but they all kind of form together to give you eventually some semblance of something. But at the same time, I just am surprised that she was allowed this amount of
words,
exposition that don't necessarily add up to the conclusion. You know what I mean?
That there wasn't some sort of editing later on to wrap up some of this, because there was so many things that we invested in the beginning, like the bloodline, the fact that she is part of his bloodline. Then why would he want her to jump? Would she not be important to him? You felt like there was going to be some sort of connection on that level, that he would address her as like a family member, and nothing. There was nothing like that ever. There was
no acknowledgement
or
like, this is where my family is. I've been
the
keeping
dragon
an
tattoo. Yeah, the dragon tattoo, the coin. I don't understand what half of the significance is.
And they do list at or Helen does say at some point that in her notes that when she saw Dracula following the narrator and her father at one point, that she realized he was strong enough to go out in the daylight. So
interesting. That would have been nice to know maybe previously.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And there was quite a few things that either weren't wrapped up or didn't quite make sense. Even the fact that she took out some money and he notices it.
Yeah. And he didn't follow up on it.
And then he just assumes it's fraud.
Yeah, because he thought somebody took it out.
He just assumes it's fraud. And he's like, don't worry, honey. I got the money back. It's fine. Okay.
Right.
Paul stays being Paul.
If you had a missing family member and money came out of your account, would you not be?
Oh, I'd be tracking that shit down.
Yeah.
I really thought when it was revealed that Helen was still alive, but we knew that she was supposed to be dead, I really thought that what was going to happen was there was going to be some kind of accident, and that we would have a real concrete reason for thinking that she had died. But that's not necessarily the case, and I'm really shocked that Paul doesn't spend much longer on trying to find her.
Like, he says he spent 3 weeks or something searching those woods, and that his parents convinced him that he needed to take care of his daughter or whatever and move on.
He did more looking for Rossi.
Yeah. He went
did.
He went to other countries, like did research, all this crap. If she jumped, which he assumes, Dracula's out here murdering people, but he's like, no, she jumped. It's fine.
Yeah.
There would be a prone body.
Yeah. And there was nothing. She got up and left. She had her purse on her arm. She slung it over her shoulder, got up and walked away.
You found the spot where...
Which made no sense.
Yeah, you found the spot where there was blood, but no body. No purse.
The fact that...
Nothing.
Yeah, I was about to say her purse.
Yeah.
Her purse.
Well, she took her purse. You take your purse with you? Really?
I don't know. Yeah, for once, I was on Brittany's side for the logics of it. I was like, no, I don't get it. I don't see it. But regardless.
I think it was because so much detail was added in before. If it hadn't been, we probably wouldn't be as big on it. But yeah, there was a lot of stuff that wasn't answered, that felt like it had somewhere really interesting to go and then went nowhere. And then the shit that we get answered is not necessarily all that important. But
yeah, I was surprised.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But the shitty thing is that, so they get Helen back and they only get 9 years.
Yep.
Before she dies.
I was very upset. Mm-hmm.
And then
Paul dies too.
And then Paul's like blown up by a landmine. It's fine.
Yeah.
And that's stated in passing, by the way.
Yeah.
One of the main characters of this entire book stated in passing that he just gets blown up by a landmine.
Yeah.
I don't even know what to say.
You know what, though? Actually, that's perfect. That is a perfect ending for Paul. I can see Paul like walking through and like tripping on shit and, you know.
Maybe he deserved that ending.
Okay. So now, so when they go on that walk, this is in a different section, but when they go on that walk right before he proposes, I told y'all in the text that I pictured them, because he says that he's so excited, he's holding hands and he's swinging, and I was like, why do I picture him like swinging, super exaggerated, skipping along like a child, and now I'm picturing him doing that and tripping on a landmine.
Oh no. Oh my God.
Don't touch this. Do not touch this. And then he like touches the button.
Yeah, it's...
Oh, there he goes.
Dude.
Skip it along.
Yeah. So that's the end. That's the book.
Yeah.
Well, I do have to say, I love the fact that they, like, the very end of the book ends with Vlad talking to the abbot.
Which
part I thought was really interesting.
Isn't it just her imagination of drag? Isn't it just her imagination of Dracula talking to the abbot?
I do think it is, yeah.
So
her narration of it. Mm-hmm.
I thought it was more like
I would have liked to see it as an epilogue 2, maybe.
But, oh my God, no. If we start doing like more than one epilogue.
Like Zodiac Academy?
No.
5 years later.
Did that have multiple epilogues?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't remember that.
It's like 5 years later.
10 years later. 15 years later. A lot longer later.
They really leaned into their brand. I gotta give it to them, you know?
Yeah.
But that being said, I still liked the book.
It was fun.
It was fun. And I think that's why I'm a little critical, is because I was really getting into it. I was getting into the mystery of it and like what, was going on and where was this going? And I think it just felt a little anticlimactic at the end.
Yeah.
I agree. I liked the book. I liked the journey. I just wish there was a little bit more payoff.
Yeah.
So let me get this straight. You would have liked a happy ending?
Yes.
It did. I mean,
yes, please.
For it to produce something.
In this book, I would have not liked a happy ending. Thank you very much. I was grossed out by what we got.
Fair enough. No, you're telling me you didn't want...
We'll get lots and lots of happy endings in the next book.
Yes.
I wonder, I do wonder if she ended up with Barley.
That's what I was about to say, is you're telling me you didn't want like adult Barley and all of his children?
No.
I say sarcastically. No. I really loved Helen's character.
Mm-hmm.
And I really liked Turgut.
Yeah.
They were my faves.
There were definitely some characters that were really good.
Yes.
I really like the book. I like the imagery. If it was something I could take my time and read, then I do appreciate all of the extras. It's definitely not a fast read kind of book. But yeah, the ending, I think because when I first read it, it was just literally about Dracula.
Yeah.
But it's, there's a lot that could have been done to make this a really good book as far as the ending goes.
To tie it up a little differently, yeah. Well, I guess we'll end there. We hope that you've enjoyed this season of the Midnight Readers podcast. We are going to take a short break from our regular content, but definitely look forward to some off-the-shelf fun. New episodes will drop each week, and don't forget to check out last season's discussion on the Bride duology, available now.
Please remember to like, subscribe, and follow us on social media. That like and follow are super important for us to continue to bring you new episodes each week, so please, please, please do so. You can also support us by joining us on Patreon. Thank you for listening to the Midnight Readers podcast. We'll see you soon.
Happy reading, listeners. Don't stay up too late.